Let's find social media queen. Let's find social media queen and see where social media queen is sitting in her bed. Do you have a shirt? Oh, you do. Okay, you have a sweater on that matches your skin. For a second there, for a second there, I had to take a double look. I go, did social media queen just come naked onto our show?
I'm just doing this. I don't have to.
I'm not getting. Are you right behind your refrigerator? Is that where you are?
That's exactly where I am.
So you found in your apartment the best backdrop of anywhere to go in your apartment with the backdrop of the refrigerator.
You know, it's actually not the backdrop that's important. It's the fact that I'm sitting right in front of the window. So look how not pasty I am.
I see. Can you open up your refrigerator? Can we see what's going on in there?
Yes, please.
Yes, open up the refrigerator. Let's see what's going on in there, since you're behind it. Let's see what's going on in there.
Oh, man, I'm a little scared. Hold on,
this is very dangerous. Let's see what she's eating. Okay. What do you got?
We have turkey bacon. We have beer. We have water and eggs.
Okay, turkey, bacon, beer, water, and eggs. Yeah. Squeeze a true millennial in the city of New York. Yeah. Turkey, bacon, beer, and eggs.
Can we see what's in the freezer?
What?
Can we see what's in the freezer?
What's in the freezer? Squeeze wants to know what's in the freezer.
Alcohol.
Alcohol. What kind of alcohol? Oh my God! That's the $1.3 million bottle of vodka, Squeeze. It's in her freezer.
It's in the freezer door.
Yes. If a guy by the name of Vladimir comes and knocks on your door, I would not be answering it.
Right? No. That's actually why I'm from home today.
Right.
The Russian has pictures of me all over Harlem, I just got to stay indoors.
Is that where you live? You live in Harlem?
I do, yeah. I live in Harlem.
I see. I did not even know where you lived. Well, all right. How's the snow up in Harlem?
It's awful. It's
awful.
Absolutely horrendous. I'm like staring out the window right now.
I would tell my boss the same thing.
Yes, of course. Can you imagine? And I go, let me see it. All of a sudden, it's like sunny over there.
The microclimate is real.
All right. Yes. All right. Let's go. Rapid fire. Let's go. What's our questions?
Okay. Jeff Bosey had a good idea that we should do rapid fire with you outside, and then your life is just in my hands in terms of how fast I go with rapid.
Right. And you just ask the questions really slowly. Very good, Jeff. Okay.
Okay, our first question is from Joy. What happens if you get a divorce on a conditional green card? My spouse cheated on me.
Well, as long as you can prove it was a real marriage, nobody says you have to stay in an unhappy marriage. You got your green card. You got your conditional green card. As long as you have proof that you and your spouse lived together for some period of time after you got your conditional green card and you terminated your marriage through divorce, you're entitled to get your permanent green card. We can help.
Kadian wants to know, what do you think immigration is going to be like in the next 5 years? And what's your best advice to undocumented people right now?
I think ultimately it's going to end up being on some sort of merit system. And right now it's a merit system, but it's a different merit system. Right now, the government gives merit to people who are married to U.S. citizens. That's the most meritorious case in America right now. If you're married to an American citizen, it's the quickest way to get a green card. The least meritorious case is being a brother or sister of a U.S. citizen. That's 15 years. Less meritorious right now is unskilled workers. More meritorious is people who won the Nobel Peace Prize. So there is some sort of merit to our system right now, but they do it based on quotas. They give a certain amount of green cards to this category, a certain amount of green cards to another category. What ultimately is going to come down the road is that instead of being in a quota, they're going to add up points, the way that somehow Canada does it. And you're going to add up points, and you get different points depending on your education, perhaps, hopefully not where you come from, hopefully not whether you speak English or not, but it could possibly be whether you come from an English-speaking, the way Trump talks, you don't know. And your education and relationships that you have here, and whether you violated any immigration laws, then you're going to get some negatives, and it's basically going to be some sort of mathematical formula. What I would suggest to people now, okay, and it's certainly going, and that mathematical formula if Trump has his way, is going to benefit white, educated people and is going to be not beneficial to people of color with less education, despite what relatives they may or may not have in America. That's my guess. I'm not saying it's going to happen. All I'm telling you is what Trump wants to see happen. Ultimately, I don't know what's going to happen. I would believe that what Trump wants to see happen is not going to happen because he needs the Democrats to make immigration legislation. So it's also very possible that for the next 3 years, nothing happens. What I would suggest to people right now, is what I have suggested to people for the last 20 years, which is file something. Put your name in. If you only have a brother, don't say, oh, it takes 15 years. Do it. If you have a mother or father, do it. If you have an opportunity to get married in a real marriage, do it. If you have a child, a son or daughter who's over 21 who has a green card and is eligible to become a citizen, get them to become a citizen so they can file for you. If you have an employer who's willing to sponsor you, get sponsored in a job. Do it, as the Nike says. Do it because, you like that, as Nike says. Do it because if you do something, ultimately good things happen. Don't be scared to file an application. By filing an application, that's not going to cause immigration to come knock on your door. File the application, and after you get approved, after they've taken your filing fee money, my argument would be if they change the laws and they say, okay, brothers and sisters, you can't file for you anymore, I would say that's going to end up being in major litigation because the government took your money, said you're going to get a benefit, and now they can't take it away from you. Okay? So my advice is to everyone who's out there out of status, find a way and go do it. And if you don't have the way or you don't know what to do, there's always me. Call my office, schedule an appointment to come see us. Right, Squeeze?
Absolutely. I'm here sharing away, man. I'm doing what it is that a lot of Brad Squad and Team Squeeze is not doing, man. So
you're doing their job now.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
You know, a lot of people saying it's snowing. You know, what the hell? You know, take the day off, Brad and Squeeze. I'm like, no, can't do that. You know, we're here to help people. Once again.
And by the way, Candace Walker, I just want to make something clear to Candace Walker. Okay, she says she really hopes the merit system of speaking English applies, especially for those coming to Miami, Florida. The only thing I would agree with Mr. Trump for. The English speaking, by the way, Candace, I would assume, I don't know for a fact that she is Jamaican, but I don't know, maybe she's not. Jamaica is not considered an English-speaking country. Under Mr. Trump's rules, there's only 4 English-speaking countries: England, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. Nobody else speaks English anywhere else in the world.
That's what he says.
That's what he says.
So much for your team.
I had no idea.
Yeah, no, in Jamaica they don't speak English, Squeeze. Are you aware of that?
Right.
Are you aware of that, Squeeze? That's not
Right.
It's not the language they speak there in Jamaica.
Right.
Dorrell wants to know, how safe is it to travel with a green card?
Safe.
Providing you have no convictions, right?
Yes.
Kisu wants to know, I'm a U.S. citizen and also in the military. I filed for my mother who lives in Trinidad. I filed for her in 2015, but she was denied in 2017 due to having less than 14 grams of cannabis in 1993. I was told I could repeal the 601A form. Is there any chance she will be able to visit me?
No. 16 grams of cannabis or 16 pounds?
14 grams of cannabis.
Oh, no, then the answer is yes. If it was 14, if it's under, grams, what's grams to ounces? Grams is smaller than ounces, right?
Yeah, grams is way smaller.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so if it's under 30 grams, you can do a waiver. It happened more than 15 years ago. I take that all back. You do the 601 waiver, she will absolutely get that waiver approved. It's on a statute of limitations, more than 15 years, less than 30 grams, she'll get a green card. I take I take back the first answer.
Perfect. Nicole wants to know, I've got a question on behalf of a friend. When he was younger, his grandmother filed for him and his father. They even did the medical. However, his father died, and then his grandmother, who was the original petitioner, also died. Therefore, when he went to get a visitor's visa, he got turned down because they said he had a pending filing. He still wants his green card. Is it possible at all?
There has to be another family member who can step in. Hopefully there is. Step into the shoes of the dead parent who filed.
Okay. Natalie wants to know, my friend went in for his interview in October of last year. They didn't make a decision right there at the interview, and he was told he'll get a decision in the mail. Yesterday, he got a decision letter and said his case was denied because his wife withdrew her I-130 and said he paid her to marry him for a green card. That's the grounds they denied him on. What are his options?
He's got no options. His wife just said it's a business marriage. If you have a business marriage and the government has it in writing that it's a business marriage, that bars you for life from ever getting a green card. You pay somebody and it's discovered that you paid somebody to get married, you are never getting a green card for the rest of your life. As a matter of fact, you're getting deported.
What if she's
lying? I've had
Yeah.
situations where people were lying. You then have the burden now shifts to you that you got to prove she's a liar. So now you better come in with overwhelming evidence that she's a liar.
Oh my!
He
So
needs
it's
an
on
attorney.
him to prove that
Correct.
his wife is lying?
Correct. But prove the burden is extraordinarily high. We've done it, but the burden is extraordinarily high.
Wow, that's awesome. Hugla wants to know, is it possible to legally leave a country like Zimbabwe without a passport?
I have no idea what the border rules are for Zimbabwe.
For Zimbabwe?
I would assume no.
Rushanette wants to know, what's happening with the EAD cards at the National Benefit Center in Missouri? I filed in August and still haven't received my EAD yet.
Well, they are backed up about 120 days, but if you filed incorrectly, then you're never getting it. If you're missing a document, you're not getting it. If they asked you for more evidence, you're not getting it. So it is taking about 120 days, but if you still haven't gotten it yet, that means you screwed up your application somehow.
Okay, and we have successfully made it through social media rapid fire today.
Thank you very much, Kim.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy your turkey bacon. We'll see you tomorrow.
That's good. See you guys tomorrow.